If we say that all of life emerges out of the inviolable axiom that an abstract intellect, divine mind, oversoul, exerts a physical pressure of thinking upon the universe, which allows all of life to manifest through the varying pressure conditions, then it does stand to reason that if you accept that as gospel, and you say that someone has the technical facility within them in the same way that musical ability is innate in anyone, to utilize your conscious awareness to behave like the divine oversoul, and that you can create telepathic connections and bridges through the commingling of your mind inside of another one, then does it not stand to reason that if someone took it upon themselves to observe someone else for well over 1,000 hours, that the resulting condition, psychologically as well as spiritually, would be of such an attenuated degree that it could only be defined as a case study? I don't think that that's too much to ask. And it is, right? It's very evident that that's like what is occurring between me and Quentin. Right? And so this is why I'm talking about it. Not because I want to destroy his career, any more than he wanted to destroy my mind. You understand? Right? And I didn't see that his whole world is predicated upon his control of people as a practitioner, as an adept. And of course I should have. That's. If he's so addicted to it, he set up $1 million event. I should have seen how important it is to him in that way. Right? And so in that way, I was stubborn. I was just like him. I was like, no, my mind. No, I don't like the idea of you manipulating me with your fucking mind all the time forever. And if you manipulate me into doing this with you, then I've given you an invitation to behave this way forever. Right? And so now that I didn't do it, right, the exact opposite of what I wanted to occur has occurred. That his whole world crashed down all around him, and everyone who has indulged him all this time, especially the women, are now, right, he has no control over their minds, right? And so he's been doing all these things, up to and including, right, leading me to believe that he's using the destroying angel mushroom to poison my liver, leading me to believe that he's using HIV-infected blood to try to give me AIDS, right? He's reaching out, this is my Hannibal Lecter argument, that he's reaching out into the world for agents of death, right, to use them in his mind to destroy me, right? And this is why I say black magic, right? Because it's the same as white magic. All magic is magic, right? It's the intention of the adept exerting a pressure upon creation that can be correlated to the divinity that shapes our material ends. And so I talk about it not to humiliate myself, not to make a scene, right, all these things, but to take back my mind, right, because he has spent well over 1,000 hours, and we do have a psychiatric case study between the two of us. There is no point where his thoughts end and mine begin, right? That's the two of us, right? And if the women, right? And so this was the thought that I had earlier, was that I came into his mind through the women, right? That's, right, isn't that, right? So therefore, that's why he always treated me like he treats the women, because he never respected me as a man, right? My point being that he doesn't respect Leonardo DiCaprio either, right? But he told him, I want you to, why don't you go to your trailer and hang out? We don't have anything for you right now. And then he said, Danielle, I want you to go see Leo. And then he did what he does. Right? Ergo, he doesn't respect him, right? But he never subjected him to this perpetual observation that he did with me for 60 days before Tribeca. That was why I was upset. If I knew that he was saying, oh, I have these treasures that I've been holding in this way for a long time, and that's why I'm behaving this way, because I want you to take care of them because they want you, that I would have respected that a lot more, right? And so this is the differences between white magic and black magic, right? That white magic is all done above board, right? That you can heal the sick, right? You can astral project and all these things. They're all legitimate spiritual sciences, right? But black magic is the idea of manipulation and control. It was like using those tactics not to vivify, but to destroy and control. Right? That it's all the same, right? It's all the same water. It's just different hats in the water. It's like different color floaties in the water, which is the conscious field, right? Which allows for the proliferation of thought energy to manifest as a perturbation of electrical phenomenon anywhere in creation at any time. And so I do suspect that maybe he is exhausted, that maybe, right, that maybe it's just time to relax, you know? That his mind is like running wild about me doing the panel, right? So that the industry can see me like interacting with him in some way. And I do feel like there is a big faction that's like, maybe you should just do the movie again. You know, like maybe it is too fucked up. You know, maybe you went toe to toe with someone, right? And he's just gonna humiliate himself forever and destroy your career, right? And that was never my intention, right? But I couldn't see. I was too stubborn, right? I was too disrespectful of magic. I don't respect magicians, right? I don't have to respect magicians. I can respect men, and if you want to entertain the notion of being an adept, then we could talk about that, right? But you try to cast a spell on my mind, I'll remind you that there's ways of doing things. And if you're a fine-ass woman, right, like you can sit down next to me and say, sing me a song, and then take my guitar from me, and I can make a move, you know what I mean? Because I get it, right? But if you're a man, right, and you expect me to fuck you with my mind, I don't like that. I'll do that willingly. Just like tell me what you want to talk about, right? But don't like come in here and say, "Oh, push your beauty out." That's bullshit. I was a coward. I'm broken. I'm like deeply flawed psychologically and physically, and so I need help. Right? That's like I need to know that I'm going in the right direction. Right? And so this is what the women saw, right? That they saw that I had so much to say about it without talking about them at all. Without like you get it? Right? That whomever saw it, and I feel like no one saw it. Except for Brad. Right? But in the women's minds, it was always, oh, we're bitches who get tied up and fucked. That's our contribution to the film. Right? Because they're not babies anymore. Right? They're not 19 and 22 anymore. Right? And so they see me, right? They see like my radiant, like sexual energy coming out of my pores. Right? And so the only thing that makes sense to me now regarding like why it's gone on this long, like after Tribeca, is that those women did immediately like get excited, like on a fundamental level, and said, open communication. I want to see this man and like talk to him about this movie. And that terrified him on such a fundamental level because he understood that I am wise and that they can like actively talk to me about like anything that's going on in their lives in terms of how they're treated in relation to Quentin. And so he put up all these barriers between us to prevent us, right? That if I'm not prepared to show that I love him as a psychic and I approve of his behavior, then he doesn't think I'm deserving of holding them and knowing them biblically. And so I contend that that's like him being a sore loser. That's like what I'm saying. And I have nothing but guilt about it. I can't stress that enough, right? That I failed the movie star test, right? Like he's the standard for Hollywood, right? But he's not the magical standard. That's the point. And true magic is a recognition of the mystery, is a recognition of like the disparate pieces never being the whole, that you can't be the whole. You can be a good piece, right? And the good piece listens to the parts, right? That's magic. That if those women, right, knew that they could go to me and like say, like, will you just like I don't want to talk about the movie. I want you to like tell me how fine I am, right? Isn't that like that's magic? You know, like that's like real magic, right? And when you deny that, you deny the magic of the whole everything. That there is no magic in the entire enterprise, right? That if they were reckoning psychologically with like what is occurring like on that set, and they saw a spiritual divine moment in like opening themselves up to like allowing me to protect them, right? And all they had to do was go to me and show me that they're open to me playing the role. You get it? Right? Flat on their back. Show me how bad you want it. Right? That's its own magic. That's my point, right? And as a result of my celibacy, like, I can't think on those levels. So despite the fact that Quentin gave me a lot of hints, right, as far as just hammered me with sexual energy that one night, picking Jackie Brown, picking a literary adaptation, right? This is all his schizophrenic logic saying, oh, I respect women, and, right, oh, the women wanted me. This is about the women, right? That I can't see that as a result of, like, my vow, right? And so it stands to reason that it's still going on now, that, like, he still has this diseased pathological relationship with me, because after Tribeca, they said, we've been telling you all along, this isn't about you, it's about us. We control his mind with our bodies, right? He controls us, right, with his mind. That's the exchange here. That's what we want. We want him to be like the mediator in these scenes between us and you. And if he doesn't want to, like, respect what you're doing, it's because it's manipulative and not cool. And so we want to speak to him. Because we know if he understands that, like, we want him to help us, we want him to justify this film in our hearts and our bodies and our souls, right? Then does it not stand to reason that he would exact the deepest, most evil, sadistic campaign upon me that anyone can endure, all in an effort to maintain this illusory control over their minds that they lost immediately? Like, he lost, right? They lost the desire to keep thinking that it's okay to be treated that way. As soon as they read my letters, they said, oh yes, like, we could talk to him, and, like, he'll be like a buffer between us, and he's hot, and, you know, all these things, you know, which I can't see. I did not write him about that, right? I don't know that this is, like, something he, like, makes a joke about. It's like, oh, you think you can go onto a Hollywood set and not smash pussy the whole time? Like, yeah, I'm there to act. I'm there to write. Like, that's what I'm there for. Right? But if the women, right, want to talk to me and say, right, no more songs. You fuck me, no. And that's hot, and I want that. But I'm not going to ask for it. That's the point. Right? So, you know, I find it hard to believe that the industry is not, like, totally up to here with me writing 15,000 words a day, and I'm about to write another one right now. But I don't see the need to stop until they indulge me in this one way. Right? I don't expect to know them biblically. Right? That's not, are they the most beautiful women in the world? Like, yeah, I would legitimately argue that for all four of them, you know? And I'd pass that polygraph. You get it? But it's about knowing that they're safe. It's about me listening to my spiritual eye all the way, seeing the full scope of everything, seeing, right, that it was the women justifying debasing themselves in relation to it being this, like, really cool, talented guy who will love them and, like, actually lay claim to them forever and say, these ones are mine. We did it together. Right? It's not a sadistic, like, disgusting thing that they have to, like, cry about every night. Right? So, might consider buying me a one-way ticket, right, to Los Angeles, right? And then I'll resign myself to the street, and then you could see me making videos, like, from the street, you know? But I have to keep at it. I have to, like, keep going until, right, there's nothing between us, right? There's only Quentin between us. That's the point. There's no law saying that famous people can't talk to not famous people. Like, you get it? Like, there's no argument there. There's nothing there, right? But Quentin's there, isn't he? And if they've been desperate to speak to me simply and honestly because they felt that in my letter, right? That they felt that, it's really not about us at all. Like, it's not. It's about poetry and art and beauty. That in that recognition that they felt that they could come to me, right, as goddesses of the vine and say, I don't want this to destroy my psychology or my sexual identity. Right? Do you think I'm pretty? Like, can it mean something emotionally as well as mechanically? Is that not cool? Is that, like, disgusting and not magic? Because I'm pretty sure in denying that, right, you abort all the magic immediately. And so since I'm only seeing that now, I thought it was just, like, him being a weird occultist. I wasn't seeing that it was him, like, trying to not objectify women anymore. Then I have to talk about it to help him no longer objectify women. So let me know what you think.